Hello, word nerds. Welcome to this podcast, this thing here. Okay, let's see. I had a couple things on my mind that I wanted to say before I forget, because I know that I will forget otherwise. First of all, maybe today I'll put a thing on the social media, a little poll. Let's poll the audience if anybody even sees any of those things. Would you like me to keep this podcast family friendly or not? Do you feel really strongly that it should be family friendly, or would you allow me to swear and talk adult now and then? There's no pressure, not a big thing, but I think it would be fun to be able to just let loose a little bit more. But I understand that there may be some sensitive ears or parents who do not want their kids to hear things, so I respect that. Okay, just let me know. Maybe I won't even put up a poll, or maybe I will. Go find it. And then the other thing, so today, the day that I'm recording this is October 30th. I'm a whole, month plus in the past. The episode that aired today, I thought was episode 1000, and it got very confusing. I won't even go into the details of why, but I did go through the episodes, and I did the math, and it turns out that the next episode, the one that aired on October 31st, is technically the 1000th episode if I include a very small handful of extra episodes that I did. Not ones where I was reading the dictionary like I normally do. I think there were 6 of those. So then I guess if we want to not include those, the one that airs on, I don't know, November 6th or something, that will be the official 1000th episode. But like I've said this whole time, it's close enough. It's fine. Okay, so with that out of the way, I got it out of my brain. Let's read the words for this page. Maybe I should just real quick say, because sometimes I do, I would appreciate it if you reviewed this podcast, give it that good old 5-star rating, and write down a few words of what you think of it, and put that on the Apple Podcasts and the other places where you can do that. And social media, Twitter, Instagram, if people are still using those, in the future, at dictionarypod. I'm also on Facebook. You can call my Google Voice number if you want to leave a message, and there's some other stuff too, which you can figure out. All right, the words. The first word is conferee. Conferee, I think that's how you'd say it. Conferee. Conferee, noun from 1771, one taking part in a conference. I had no idea that they were called conferees. Next is conference. What? Conference. This is a noun from 1527, 1a, a meeting of 2 or more persons for discussing matters of common concern. 1b, a usually formal interchange of views. And the synonym is consultation. 1c, a meeting of members of the 2 branches of a legislature to adjust differences. 1d, the synonym is caucus. Number 2, this one could be spelled with 2 R's in the middle, if you prefer that. The synonyms are just bestowal and conferment. 3a, a representative assembly or administrative organization of a religious denomination. 3b, a territorial division of a religious denomination. 4, an association of athletic teams. Conferential is an adjective. There's no etymology. So we're going to move on now to conference call. Everybody's favorite thing who works in an office. It is 2 words, noun, 1941, a telephone call by which a caller can speak with several people at the same time. I'm a little shocked that this was started in 1941. I know, though, that they had party lines, so would this be related to a party line? But I feel like when it really became a thing was when I was a kid in the 80s. And this was a special thing that you would have to choose to have on your landline. You probably had to pay extra money for it, I would assume. And I think what you had to do was you would, is this how it worked? You would hang up the phone. You'd click the button once, the hang up button, whatever that thing is called. and then you would dial the other number, and then once they picked up, you would click the hang up button again, and it would combine the calls. I think I'm remembering this correctly, and I think I remember the first times it was like, oh my God, is this going to work? And then it worked. You could have a conference call, and now it's like, we've gone way past that. All right, the next word is conferencing. It is a noun from 1865. The holding of conferences, especially by means of an electronic communications system, and as in computer conferencing. Would Zoom calls be considered computer conferencing? I don't think they were having Zoom calls in 1865, though. Okay, next, if that was when slavery ended, I think, or maybe that was when it was completely ended. I think Juneteenth maybe was in 1865 when that started, so it was like, it took some time. The numbers, I'm not so good with the dates in this situation, but all the slaves would have been freed so much faster if they could have all just gotten on a Zoom call and said, okay, slaves, you're free. After the Civil War, go have your own conference calls. I don't know what that means. All right, we are going to move on after that terrible joke to confess. I confess I often say really, really dumb things on this show. Right here on this very show. So confess, it is a verb from the 14th century, starting with transitive. 1, to tell or make. To tell or make known. And the thing you might be making known is something wrong or damaging to oneself. And the synonym is admit. As in, he confessed his guilt. What did he do? Number 2a, to acknowledge to God or to a priest. And the example of what you are acknowledging is a sin. To acknowledge a sin. Or just sin. Not a sin, just sin. To be. That's just a thing that people believe, so that's fine. To be. To receive the confession of. And the example is a penitent. Yes, also, same world. They're both under number 2. Number 3, to declare faith in or adherence to. And the synonym is profess. Number 4, to give evidence of. Now we are on intransitive for confess. 1a, to disclose one's faults, specifically, to unburden one's sins or the state of one's conscience to God or to a priest. 1b, to hear a confession. Number 2, synonyms are admit and own, as in confess to a crime. Another synonym is the word acknowledge and confessable. We have a few. Confessable is an adjective. Oh no, that was the only one. The next one is its own word. Okay, so confess, etymology. It is from the Anglo-French confesseur or confesseur, from confess with an accent on the E, which means having confessed. From the Latin verb confitere or confitere, terri, I don't know how to say it. That means to confess. From com plus fateri, which means to confess. Akin to the Latin fari, which means to speak. And there's more at the word ban. B-A-N. Speaking, and then you add the other words, the other letters, and it becomes confessing. Okay. I think it's good to confess things that are on your mind, something that maybe you're guilty of, and if you confess it, I think you'll feel better. Next is confessedly, also just confessedly. It is an adverb from 1634, and it means by confession. Next is confession, noun from the 14th century. 1a, an act of confessing, especially a disclosure of one's sins in the sacrament of reconciliation. Disclosure, you disclose the things that you think you have sinned on, and it's in the whole idea of reconciling, making yourself feel better and maybe other people feel better and getting it off your chest. I think that's what it's saying. 1b, a session for the confessing of sins, as in go to confession. I wanted it to say something like a session of confession, because it rhymes. I like rhyming. More people need to rhyme. I think we need more rhyming in our day-to-day life. Number 2, a statement of what is confessed, as to a written or oral acknowledgement of guilt by a party accused of an offense. Yeah, if there's somebody who's arrested for something, and if they write or speak this acknowledgement of guilt, that is a confession, and that holds some weight in the legal world. 2b, a formal statement of religious beliefs, and the synonym is creed. And number 3, an organized religious body having a common creed. Next is confessional, first form, noun from 1727. 1, a place where a priest hears confessions. Number 2, the practice of confessing to a priest. I have never done this. If you've heard any bit of this podcast, you will probably have guessed that. I was not raised religious, especially not in a Catholic church of any kind. I'm obviously very aware of this process. You see it in movies and TV shows all the time. That's where I learn about the world, is from movies and TV shows. So we've seen so many scenes taking place in one of these confessionals, but they all look the same because it's such a cramped little space. There's so few ways to shoot something like that. That's just my thought. Okay, second form of confessional, adjective from 1684. 1, of relating to or being a confession, especially of faith. Number 2, of relating to or being intimately autobiographical, as in confessional fiction. Confessionalism is a noun. Confessionalist is a noun. Confessionally is an adverb. Next is confessor. Let's see, it's saying other ways to say it, but I think it's all pretty much the same. You could say confessor, or you can say, no, many ways. Confessor, confessor, or confessor. I think those are the 3 options. Emphasize any one of the syllables. It is saying, though, that the number 1 and number 3 definitions could be confessor. You emphasize each one gradually down in succession. Confessor. Okay, and then number 3, the third one, which we will get to, don't worry, I will read the words. That one could also be pronounced confessor. So, number 1, one who gives heroic evidence of faith but does not suffer martyrdom. Number 2, one that confesses. 3a, a priest who hears confession. And 3b, a priest who is one's regular spiritual guide. Confessor. Okay, next is, we're switching gears, confetti. Wouldn't it be great if when you go to the confessional to confess to the confessor, that confetti explodes out of the ceiling? You can feel so great about the thing that you just confessed. Okay, confetti, noun from 1815. Small bits or streamers of brightly colored paper made for throwing. And the example of where this might be thrown is as at weddings. This is Italian, from the plural confetto, which, what? It means sweetmeat. Sweetmeat is confetto, which then became confetti. Let's read more. From the Middle Latin confectum, which is from the Latin, it's the neutral of confectus, which is from the verb confecere, which means to prepare. And there's more of the word comfit. So, what? To prepare, sweetmeat became small bits of streamers of brightly colored paper made for throwing. I will never look at confetti the same way again. I just think of sweetmeat. Fallen from the ceiling, out of a cannon. All right, next is confidant. It is a noun from 1646, one to whom secrets are entrusted, especially the synonym intimate, or intimate? Intimate. This is from, Italian confidente. Confidente means confident or trustworthy. Yes, you feel confident in the person that you are telling this secret to, because they are trustworthy. I would like to be your confidant. If you need to tell me anything, I will listen in non-judgment and a very secret. I won't tell anybody about whatever secrets you have to tell. And I definitely will not play your voicemail on a future episode. And our last word is also confidant, but this one has an E at the end. So it is spelled Confidante. Noun from 1662. I feel like we need to emphasize the way that we say this. The first one is confidant, and this one should be confidante. I'm not sure. The synonym is just confidant with no E, but especially one who is a woman. So if your confidant is a woman, you put an E at the end, and it's confidant, said in the same way. Okay, so the words today in this episode were conferee, conference, conference call, conferencing, confess, confessedly, confession, confessional, confessor, confetti, confidant, and confidante, or just confidant. Well, I guess I'll just pick confess as the word of the episode because just in a general sense, I think it's probably good to not have whatever is on your mind, not have it on your brain anymore if you confess. All right, so confess. I have to sing a song, don't I? Confess, 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 confess. All right, let's read the holidays. In Ecuador, it is anniversary of the founding of Quito. That's the capital, I think. Quito with a Q. In Ukraine is Armed Forces Day. In Spain, it is Constitution Day. It is Day of the Ministry of Communications and Information Technologies of Azerbaijan. It is Independence Day in Finland from Russia, which was in 1917. In Canada, it is National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women. All right, let's check this page real quick. It is St. Nicholas Day. Wait, now this says the 9th and last day of Hanukkah. I guess if you're looking at it like from sundown to sundown, maybe it's technically 9 days. It's like the whole thing when you go on a trip. It's like, oh, I'm here for this many days, but it's only this many nights. I don't know. What else? We said all of those. Yeah. Let's look at the fun holiday page. Miner's Day, Mitten Tree Day, or you could just say Mitten Tree Day. How do you emphasize the T's? National Gazpacho Day, National Microwave Oven Day. It shows a picture of somebody cleaning their microwave oven. That's probably a pretty good idea. National Pawnbrokers Day, Put on Your Own Shoes Day. So if you've been struggling with putting on your own shoes, maybe today is a day that you should do that. Walt Disney Day, not sure if it was the day he was born, the day he died, the day that he first put on his shoes. Let's see. What did I miss? It is National Influenza Vaccination Week. So if you want to go get your flu vaccine, now's a good time to do it. Maybe you should have already done it, depending on what you think. I have heard that because the flu, the generic flu that we see every year, and COVID, they are related. They're cousins. And so even getting the flu vaccine will give you a little bit of protection to COVID if you have not gotten your full COVID vaccine, which of course I strongly recommend that you do. And by now, by the time you're hearing this, we should have full approval for kids 5 through 11, which is great because then so many more people can get vaccinated. Yay. Yeah. All right. I think that is a good place to end. We finished page 260. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yay. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. It is a podcast. We are at the top of page 261. Yeah, okay. So the first word is confide, C-O-N-F-I-D-E. It is a verb from the 15th century. 1. To have confidence, and the synonym is trust, like you are confiding in somebody. That will be our last word, confiding. By the way, we are in intransitive, if I forgot to say that, which I think I did. My brain is not all here today. Number 2, to show confidence by imparting secrets, as in confide in a friend. Moving on to transitive, 1, to tell confidently. No, to tell confidentially. Number 2, to give to the care or protection of another, and the synonym is entrust. And another synonym is commit. Confider is a noun. This is from the Latin verb confidere, which is cum plus fidere, which means to trust. And there's more at the word bide, B-I-D-E. Yeah, that's it for that one. Now we have the word confidence. First form, noun from the 14th century. 1a, a feeling or consciousness of one's powers or of reliance on one's circumstances, as in had perfect confidence in her ability to succeed. Also as in met the risk with brash confidence. 1b, faith or belief that one will act in a right, proper, or effective way, as in have confidence in a leader. And if you don't have confidence in that leader, maybe they should not be the leader. Number 2, the quality or state of being certain. The synonym is certitude, as in they had every confidence of success. 3a, a relation of trust or intimacy, as in took his friend into his confidence. 3b, reliance on another's discretion, as in their story was told in strictest confidence. If somebody tells you something in confidence, you have to respect that and maybe keep it a secret. Or maybe just forget it. That's just easiest. Okay, 3c, support, especially in a legislative body, as in vote of confidence. 4, a communication made in confidence. The synonym for that is secret, as in accused him of betraying a confidence. Yeah, see, that's what will happen if you tell somebody's secret. Okay, here is some synonym information for this word confidence. Confidence, assurance, self-possession, and aplomb, A-P-L-O-M-B. All of those words mean a state of mind or a manner marked by easy coolness and freedom from uncertainty, diffidence, or embarrassment. Confidence stresses faith in oneself and one's powers without any suggestion of conceit or arrogance, as in the confidence that comes from long experience. Yeah, I think that's a good distinguishing factor, is that you are confident maybe in yourself, but you're not conceited about it. You're not arrogant about it. You just, you have confidence that you know how to do something. And I'm still working on that. Okay, the next synonym, assurance, carries a stronger implication of certainty and may suggest arrogance or lack of objectivity in assessing one's own powers. As in, handled the cross-examination with complete assurance. Self-possession implies an ease or coolness under stress that reflects perfect self-control and command of one's powers, as in answered the insolent question with complete self-possession. And yeah, I mean, self-possessed, that gets into a whole other thing, but yeah, okay. And then the last one, aplomb, implies a manifest self-possession in trying or challenging situations, as in handled the reporters with great aplomb. That's a word that I never hear, and so I think it's kind of a silly word. Okay, moving on to the second form of confidence, adjective from 1849, of relating to or adept at swindling by false promise, as in a confidence game, also as in a confidence man. Next is confidence interval, 2 words, noun from 1934, and it is one long definition. A group of continuous or discrete adjacent values that is used to estimate a statistical parameter as a mean or variance, and that tends to include the true value of the parameter, a predetermined proportion of the time if the process of finding the group of values is repeated a number of times. This seems like it is math. That's what makes sense to me. And also, the definition didn't make any sense to me. Okay, next is confidence limits. 2 words. You gotta make it plural, man. This is a noun from 1939. The endpoints of a confidence interval. It's the limits. Let's take it to the limits. All right, next is confident. Adjective from circa 1567. 1. Full of conviction. Synonym is certain, as in confident of success. Also as in confident that conditions will improve. I sure hope you're right. Number 2, having or showing assurance and self-reliance, as in a confident young businessman. Also as in a confident manner. Number 3 is obsolete. Synonyms are trustful and confiding. Confidently is an adverb. Yep, that's good for that. Next is confidential. Adjective from 1759. 1. Marked by intimacy or willingness to confide, as in a confidential tone. Number 2, synonyms are private and secret, as in confidential information. It is above your pay grade, and you aren't allowed to get that information. Number 3, entrusted with confidences, as in a confidential clerk. 4, containing information whose unauthorized disclosure could be prejudicial to the national interest. And it says compare to the words secret and top secret. And those would, of course, be synonyms. Confidential, how do you say this word? Confidentiality is a noun, and confidentially is an adverb. Okay, this is our last word for this episode. It is confiding. Confiding. Adjective from 1797, tending to confide. And the synonym is trustful. Not trustful, trustful. Confidingly is an adverb, and confidingness is a noun. So the words in this episode were confide, confidence, confidence interval, confidence limits, confident, confidential, and confiding. I think I'll just pick confident as the word of the episode because, I think a lot of us are still working on just being confident, which, yes, of course, this word sounds incredibly weird now. Am I surprised by that? No, not at all. I think sometimes it's hard to be confident in yourself in various ways. And I know, for me, I think there are certain things that I'm confident about and other things I am not. And that is fine. That's all part of being a human. Confident. What rhymes with confident? So many things. Like mint. Yeah. Okay, so the holidays today in India, it is Armed Forces Flag Day. It is Eve of the Immaculate Conception. There are related observances like Day of the Little Candles, which is in Colombia. International Civil Aviation Day. East Timor has National Heroes Day. In the U.S., it is National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. I think we can all figure out why that is. In Armenia, it is Spitak Remembrance Day. Any other holidays? Yes, of course, there are always more holidays. In the Netherlands, it is Princess Katarina Amalia's birthday. And some more funnish holidays. It is Letter Writing Day. Nobody writes any letters, including me, so maybe go write a letter to somebody. It is National Cotton Candy Day. It's observed on December 7th and July 31st, and I don't understand why that happens twice a year. What was the other name? Fairy floss, I think, was the original name for it. Go listen to the podcast Weirdest Things I Learned. They recently had an episode about, one of the things they talked about was cotton candy. I think it was invented by a dentist. World Trick Shot Day, and it shows a picture of basketball, but I'm just going to say it's fine to have it be all types of games. Pool, soccer, baseball, basketball, all those things. Any other ones? Oh, it's National Illinois Day, my state. Maybe this is the day that we became a state in I think the 1800s. So go Illinois. All right, that is a good place to end this episode, and I think that is all I'm gonna say. And there's some fuzz. I think it's a cat hair on my microphone. There's a couple. I gotta get rid of them. All right, thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to this podcast called The Dictionary. It's the most clever name that has ever been made. Okay, so let's talk about the words in this episode. The first one is configuration. configuration. Noun from 1559. I had to find it. 1A. Relative arrangement of parts or elements. As 1A1, the synonym is shape. 1A2. Contour of land, as in configuration of the mountains. I mean, yes, that makes sense. That example makes sense. But when I think of configuration, I kind of think of somebody actually putting effort into creating a configuration. And I don't think any humans, configurated the mountains into their particular shape. 1A3, functional arrangement, as in a small business computer system in its simplest configuration. 1B, something. Lots of examples of what that thing is. Something that results from a particular arrangement of parts or components. And examples could be figure, contour, pattern, or apparatus. Figure, contour, pattern, or apparatus that results from a particular arrangement of parts or components. 1C, the stable structural makeup of a chemical compound, especially with reference to the space relations of the constituent atoms. Number 2, the synonym is gestalt, as in personality configuration. Configurational is an adjective. Configurationally is an adverb. I don't know why that one was so hard to figure out. And configurative is an adjective. The etymology says it is from Latin configurare. That means to form from or after, which is from com plus figurare, which means to form. And there's more at the word from figura, and there which means figure. This is not working as well as I want it to be working. It's forming a figure. Next word is configure. It is a verb from 1677. It's just transitive. To set up for operation, especially in a particular way. Okay, I guess it's time for bed. As in, a fighter plane configured for the Malaysian Air Force. It's oddly specific. Next is confine or confine. Emphasis on either syllable. First form, noun from the 15th century. One is plural. So 1A says something, as borders or walls, that encloses. Something that encloses, as in outside the confines of the office or hospital, which is a quote from W.A. Nolan, Nolen. And then also something that restrains, as in escape from the confines of soot and clutter. That is a quote from E.S. Muskie. So that was all confines. 1b is also confines, and it is the number 3 definition for the word scope, as in work within the confines of a small group. It's another quote from Frank Newman. 2a is archaic, synonym is restriction, and 2b is obsolete, the synonym is prison. This is from the Latin, I guess it would be pronounced confine. Confine? It's spelled the same way as confine or confine. That means border. It is the neutral of confinis or something, or is from the neutral. I guess it means adjacent from com plus finis, which means end. So it is the end of a thing. It's the border, the walls. Yeah, it makes sense now. Second form is confine. Gotta emphasize the second syllable. It is a verb from 1523, starting with intransitive, one definition, which is archaic. It's not even a definition. It's a synonym, which is border. And then transitive says 1a, to hold within a location. 1b, synonym is imprison. 2, to keep within limits, as in, will confine my remarks to one subject. And another synonym is the word limit. Confiner is a noun. Next is confined, adjective from 1772, undergoing childbirth. That's what that means? Confined? Undergoing child? First of all, do people still use this? Also, aren't there other definitions to say that I'm confined to a space? Come on. Okay, yeah, we're just going to move on. Next word is confinement. Noun from 1592, an act of confining, the state of being confined. Yeah. As in solitary confinement. There's part of me that says, oh, it would be great to go into solitary confinement and just sit by myself with my thoughts. But then I think I would go crazy pretty quickly. We have another synonym. It says especially line in. Lying, L-Y-I-N-G hyphen I-N. Next word is confirm. It is a verb from the 13th century. Just transitive. Number 1, to give approval to. Synonym is ratify, as in confirm a treaty. 2, to make firm or firmer. Synonym is strengthen, as in confine one's resolve. 3, to administer the right of confirmation to. 4, to give new assurance of the validity of. There's lots of stuff going on there. Also, remove doubt about by authoritative act or indisputable fact, as in confirm a rumor. Also, as in confirm an order. Confirmability is a noun. Confirmable is an adjective. And we have, yet again, more synonym information. This one's for the word confirm. We just had some in the last episode, which is why I said it like that. Okay, confirm, corroborate, substantiate, verify, authenticate, and validate mean to attest to the truth or validity of something. Confirm implies the removing of doubts by an authoritative statement or indisputable fact, as in confirmed the reports. Corroborate suggests the strengthening of what is already partly established, as in witnesses corroborated his story. Substantiate implies the offering of evidence that sustains the contention, as in the claims have yet to be substantiated. Verify implies the establishing of correspondence of actual facts or details with those proposed or guessed at, as in all statements of fact in the article have been verified. Very good. You always need somebody to check the facts. Authenticate implies establishing genuineness by adducing legal or official documents or expert opinion, as in, handwriting experts authenticated the diaries. They can't authenticate mine because it is all digital, no handwriting. I'm not good with the handwriting. And validate implies establishing validity by authoritative affirmation or by factual proof, as in, validated the hypothesis by experiments. Oh, I love it. Not that I ever get to do it, but I love the scientific method. And you say, I have a thought. Let me perform some experiments. And then you can validate the hypothesis or not. You can figure out what happened by doing some scientific experimentation. And our last word is confirmand. Confirmand. CONFIRMEMAND. Sorry. This is a noun from 1884, a candidate for religious confirmation. Okay, so the words today were configuration, configure, confine, confine, confined, confinement, confirm, and confirmand or confirmand. Maybe I will pick configure as the word of the episode, because you can configure things however you want. Configure your life in the way that makes you happy. Configure your life in the way that makes you happy. Okay, so we are going to read some holidays now. In the Falkland Islands, it is Battle Day. In Japan, it is Bodhi Day. In, the Caribbean community and Cuba, the Caribbean community, by the way, is CARICOM. It is CARICOM Cuba Day. In Romania, it is Constitution Day, also Constitution Day in Uzbekistan. Finland has Day of Finnish Music. What does Finnish music sound like? Do we need to... Maybe I'll just put a link in the thing. In the Kansai region in Japan, it is Harikuyo. In Albania, it is National Youth Day. Let's see. It is the Immaculate Conception. And, this is the Virgin Mary, who supposedly never had sex, but she got pregnant with Jesus. And, take that with how many ever grains of salt that you want to take that with. But why is it on today? Is it because, well, I think if the math is correct, technically they say if Jesus existed, he was born in June or something like that in the summer. And so maybe this is 9 months before that. So if this all happened, he would have been conceived around this day. But you know what I'm saying? Why is this happening? Okay, let's keep on going with the stuff. In the Paraguay, it is Our Lady of Cacupe. Not sure how to say that. Let's read the fun holidays. It is National Brownie Day. Brownies are so good. It is National Christmas Tree Day. National Lard Day. Gross. Pretend to be a time traveler day. You have to pretend. You can't do it for real. You just have to pretend. Take it in the ear day, and it shows a picture of somebody telling a secret to somebody else, so maybe, or something like that, so maybe that's what you're supposed to put in your ear. Don't put anything else in your ear. It is Panama Mother's Day, and I think that's it. Okay. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to yet another episode of the dictionary. It's still going on. Okay, so the first word in this episode is confirmation. CONFIRMATION. Noun from the 14th century. 1. An act or process of confirming, as 1A1, a Christian rite conferring the gift of the Holy Spirit and among Protestants full church membership. 1A2, a ceremony, especially of Reform Judaism, confirming youths in their faith. Basically, you have to confirm, or they need to confirm with you that you are really into this stuff. 1B, the ratification of an executive act by a legislative body. 2A, confirming proof. Synonym is corroboration. 2B, the process of supporting a statement by evidence. Confirmational is an adjective. Next is confirmatory, adjective from 1636, serving to confirm. Synonym is corroborative, or would it be corroborative? Something like that, as in a confirmatory test. Next is confirmed, adjective from the 14th century, 1A, marked by long continuance and likely to persist, as in a confirmed habit. 1B, fixed in habit and unlikely to change, as in a confirmed do-gooder. I think we should all do good. Number 2, having received the right of confirmation. A synonym for everything is inveterate. Confirmedly or confirmedly is an adverb. Confirmedness or confirmedness is a noun, and that's enough for that one. Next is confiscate. No, I'm reading the wrong one. Confiscable. 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 Adjective from circa 1736. Liable to confiscation. It can be confiscated. Next is confiscatable. Adjective from 1863. The synonym is the last word. Oh my God, so yawny. Stop yawning. It is confiscable. That's the synonym. I hope every time I yawn, you yawn too. Next is confiscate. First form. You can emphasize it confiscate or confiscate. People say confiscate? That's interesting. Okay, so this is an adjective from circa 1533. 1, appropriated by the government. And the synonym is forfeited. Number 2, deprived of property by confiscation. Maybe that government one is the confiscate. I don't know. Sounds weird. It is from the Latin verb confiscare, which means to confiscate. From cum plus fiscus, which means treasury. Okay, second form of confiscate, verb from 1552. It is just transitive, I think. 1, to seize as forfeited to the public treasury. That's where the word treasury comes in. Number 2, to seize by or as if by authority. Confiscation is a noun. Confiscator is a noun. And confiscatory is an adjective. Next is, you can pronounce it, let's see, that's all very similar. Confee, confee, confee. Just different ways to say that first syllable. Confee. Noun from 1951. 1, meat that has been cooked and preserved in its own fat. Yummy, tasty stuff. I am saying that sarcastically. I mean, no, I take that back. As someone who does not eat this stuff, it is very tasty, but also kind of gross. So the examples of this meat would be goose, duck, or pork. But why don't they say... See, this is the weird thing about the whole meat thing. Some of the meats are called by the name of the animal, and some of them are called by something else. Is that because they don't want you to think about the animal that it was? So number 2, a garnish made usually from fruit or vegetables that are cooked until tender in a seasoned liquid. This is a French word, confit, and it means preparation or preserves, from the verb confire. I don't know how they say it. It means to prepare. And there's more at the word comfit or comfy with an M. And I feel like I have to go back. And I was only like one page away from guessing where that was. Let's just quickly reread it. A candy. Ooh, candy consisting of a piece of fruit, a root, a nut, a seed coated and preserved with sugar. And that one is pronounced comfit. So, yeah. Is there a connection? It's about preparing. Okay, next word is confiteor. Confiteor. It is a noun from the 13th century, a liturgical form in which sinfulness is acknowledged and intercession for God's mercy requested. It is Latin confiteor. It literally means I confess, which is from the opening words. The opening words of what? What opening words? And there's more at the word confess. I confess, confiteor. It is a liturgical form in which sinfulness is acknowledged and intercession for God's mercy requested. I just wanted to reread it now that I had the etymology context. Next is confiture or confiture or confiture. It is a noun from 1802, preserved or candied fruit, and the synonym is jam. Next is conflagrant. Adjective from circa 1656. Synonyms are burning and blazing. So this is from the Latin verb conflagrare, which means to burn, from flagrare, which means to burn, and there's more at the word black. Conflagrant. Next is conflagration, noun from 1600. I did not know this word was related to fire. Number one, the synonym is fire, especially a large, disastrous fire. I wanted to say flyer. Number two, the synonyms are conflict and war. Next is conflate, verb from 1610, just transitive. Number 1A, to bring together. Synonym is fuse. 1B, the synonym is confuse. Confuse and fuse. Number 2, to combine, as two readings of a text, into a composite whole. To combine into a composite whole. This is from the Latin verb conflare, which means to blow together or fuse, from flare, which means to blow, and there's more at the word blow. Okay, our last word is conflation. conflation, noun from the 15th century. Synonyms are blend and fusion, especially a composite reading or text. Okay, so the words in this episode were confirmation, confirmatory, confirmed, confiscable, confiscatable, confiscate, confit, confiteor, confiture, conflagrant, conflagration, conflate, and conflation. Not sure which one of these was the best one. I like the candied fruit. That's pretty good. A lot of these were just sort of, sort of whatever to me. Confiscate, conflagration, war and fires. I don't know about that. Combining things. Sure. Okay. We'll pick confiture. Confiture as the word of the episode. confiture. 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 Have some candied fruit confiture. Yeah. It's still happening. Okay, so we need to read the holidays because we are supposed to. It is Anna's Day, like the name Anna, parentheses S. No, not parentheses, apostrophe S. This marks the day to start the preparation process of the lutefisk to be consumed on Christmas Eve, as well as a Swedish name day celebrating all people named Anna. This is in Sweden and Finland. So the lutefisk, I've heard of this before, but yes, it sounds like it must be a very long and complicated process to prepare this dish. If people don't eat it for another 10, 15 days. In Peru, it is Armed Forces Day. In Russia, it is Fatherland's Heroes Day. It is Independence Day for Tanganyika from Britain in 1961. The UN has International Anti-Corruption Day. It's also National Heroes Day in Antigua and Barbuda. Sri Lanka has Navy Day. What else? International Anti-Corruption Day. I think I might have said that. Genocide Prevention Day. Prevent all the genocides. In Sweden, it's also Gingerbread Day. What are the fun holidays? Christmas Card Day. International Day of Veterinary Medicine or Veterinary Medicine. International Jewish Book Day. Go read the Torah. National Llama Day. That's the animal, the llama. National Pastry Day. Weary Willy Day. And it looks like it's a clown, maybe. Weary Willy. World Techno Day. Go listen to some techno music. I think that is it for all the holidays and all the words and this episode. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. I'm so excited you're here. If you could, while you're here, rate and review this podcast on Apple and other platforms like that. The social media is at dictionarypod, and there's a Google Voice number if you want to leave a message, and an email, dictionarypod@gmail.com. Come over and say hello. Okay, the first word in this episode, which is the last section of page 261, is conflict. Conflict. First form, noun from the 15th century. 1. Synonyms are fight, battle, and war, as in an armed conflict. 2a, competitive or opposing action of incompatibles, antagonistic state or action, as of divergent ideas, interests, or persons. 2b, mental struggle resulting from incompatible or opposing needs, drives, wishes, or external or internal demands. 3. The opposition of persons or forces that gives rise to the dramatic action in a drama or fiction. A synonym for all is discord. Conflictful? That's an interesting word. Conflictful is an adjective. Conflictual is... where did it go? It's an adjective. Conflictual, yeah. A number of ways to pronounce that word. This is from the Latin word conflictus, which is act of striking together, from confligere, which means to strike together, from fligere, which means to strike, and there's more at the word profligate. Okay, second form of conflict could also be conflict. It is an intransitive verb from the 15th century. Number 1, archaic. To contend in warfare. 2, to show antagonism or irreconcilability. Fail to be in agreement or accord, as in his statement conflicts with the facts. You gotta have your facts not conflicting. Confliction is a noun, and conflictive is an adjective. Next is conflicted. Adjective from 1914. I feel conflicted if I should read this to you. I'm not. Experiencing or marked by ambivalence or a conflict especially of emotions, as in, this unhappy and conflicted modern woman. That is a quote from John Updike. We have another example, conflicted feelings. Next is conflicting, adjective from 1592, being in conflict, collision, or opposition. Synonym is incompatible, as in conflicting theories. Conflictingly is an adverb. Next is conflict of interest, 3 words, from 1843. A conflict between the private interests and the official responsibilities of a person in a position of trust. Next is confluence, noun from the 15th century. I guess you could also say confluence. Yeah, confluence or confluence. 1. A coming or flowing together, meeting or gathering at one point, as in a happy confluence of weather and scenery. 2a, the flowing together of two or more streams. 2b, the place of meeting of two streams. 2c, the combined stream ford by conjunction. Okay, next is confluent. First form, adjective from the 15th century. 1, flowing or coming together. Also, run together, as in confluent pustules. That sounds gross. Pustules, they are. Have you busted the pustules and now they're flowing together? Huh. Okay, number 2, characterized by confluent lesions, as in confluent smallpox. Seems like that's the topic we're talking about. Lesions, pustules, smallpox, things that are on the skin. This is from the Latin verb confluere, which means to flow together, from fluere, which means to flow. And there's more at the word fluid, because fluid flows. Next is the second form of confluent, noun from 1849, a confluent stream. Broadly, the synonym tributary. Next is conflux. Yeah, there's an X. Noun from 1606, synonym is confluence. Next is confocal. Confocal, adjective from 1867, having the same foci. That is the plural of focus. So multiple focuses. And these things have the same multiple focuses, as in the example, confocal ellipses, also as in confocal lenses. Confocally is an adverb. The thing about the ellipses and the focus, the foci, is if you bounce a sound from one focus off to the ellipses, it will go back to the other focus. Depending on the shape of the ellipses, the oval, that's another name for it, there are 2 focus points. And so whatever, from one point, if you bounce it off the edge, it will always go to the other focus point, because that's how angles work. Now, if you think about a circle is just it's an ellipse, it's an oval, but it's only one. How do you describe that? It's just a circle. You know what a circle is. But there's only one focus point. So if you're standing in the focus point and you bounce a sound or a something off onto the circle, it's going to come right back to that same focus point. So an ellipses, an oval is like that, except it's stretched out. So there's 2 focus points. And there's some cool stuff with sound that you can do with that. Okay, we're done with confocal. Next is conform. Verb from the 14th century. First is transitive, to give the same shape, outline, or contour to. Bring into harmony or accord, as in conform furrows to the slope of the land. Intransitive, 1, to be similar or identical. Also, to be in agreement or harmony. And this is used with the words to or with, as in changes that conform with our plans. 2a, to be obedient or compliant. And this is usually used with the word to, as in conform to another's wishes. Not sure how I feel about that one. 2b, to act in accordance with prevailing standards or customs, as in the pressure to conform. A synonym is the word adapt. Conformer is a noun, conformism is a noun, and conformist is a noun or an adjective. So I think the conformer is the one who is making the other things conform, and the conformist is the one who is conforming to the other things. And I guess I thought that could be a conformee, but no, it's conformist. This is from the Latin verb conformare, which is from formare, which means to form. Yep, forming, all forms of forming. Next is conformable, adjective from the 15th century, one corresponding or consistent in form or character, as in conduct conformable to their principles. 2. Synonyms are submissive and compliant, as in be patient and conformable to my directions. Be patient and conformable to my directions. That is a quote from Sir Walter Scott. Number 3, following in unbroken sequence, and this is used of geologic strata formed under uniform conditions. Conformably is an adverb. And our next word is conformal. It is an adjective from 1893, one leaving the size of the angle between corresponding curves unchanged, as in conformal transformation. Number 2 is talking about a map representing small areas in their true shape. And the etymology says from the Lower Latin conformalis, which means having the same shape, from the Latin formalis, which means formal. And then that's all that is for that. Okay, so the words today were conflict, conflict, conflicted, conflicting, conflict of interest, confluence, confluent, conflux, confocal, conform, conformable, and conformal. So much going on in this episode. Let's see. I will pick conflicted as the word of the episode. I am conflicted on what I should do at oftentimes. I don't know. I don't care. It's like, just make a decision for me. I get so easily conflicted about certain decision making. I don't know why. Like, I am conflicted about what to pick sometimes for the word of the episode. Do you feel the same way? I'm so conflicted. I'm so conflicted. All right, let's talk about the holidays. It is December 10th. In Sweden, it is Alfred Nobel Day, or Nobeldagen. In Thailand, it is Constitution Day. We can save that for the end because it's an important one and it's all over the world. In Venezuela, it is National Aviation Day. Go fly a plane. Okay, it is Dewey Decimal System Day. Not sure if it's because of the date, 1210 or 1012, depending on how you want to write it, or was this the first day that the Dewey Decimal System was used? It is Festival for the Souls of Dead Whales. Wow. So there's a whole festival for the souls of dead whales. I think that's good. Lots of whales have died because of fishing and hunting and being in captivity. It is National Lager Day. That is the drink, the beer, the lager. National Salesperson Day. Be nice to your salesperson. It is official Lost and Found Day. Any other holidays? International Animal Rights Day. Oh, and it's Human Rights Day. Both are very important. So yes, let's celebrate all of the living things' rights today on December 10th. Because humans and animals have rights, and you can't take that away from them. All right, we're going to end the episode there. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. I am in a new location. I'm not in the car this time. I was tempted to go do that, but no, I'm not. I am back in my old stomping grounds, my old recording place before the pandemic hit. In fact, I was sitting at this desk in this chair when I got the notification that we had to basically shut down the office. So this is a little surreal for me, but it's not that bad. Okay, so let's talk about the words in this episode. Top of page 262. The first word is conformance. Conformance. Noun from 1606, and the synonym is conformity, which is a couple of words from now. Before that one, though, we have to talk about conformation. Noun from 1511. 1. The act of conforming or producing conformity, and the synonym is adaptation. 2. Formation of something by appropriate arrangement of parts or elements, and assembling into a whole. That is the whole thing, as in the example, the gradual conformation of the embryo. Yes, the embryo is forming parts and elements into a whole living thing eventually. And I guess when you think it is a living thing is up for debate. But we're not going to talk about that. Okay, 3A, correspondence, especially to a model or plan. 3B, the synonym is structure. 3C, the shape or proportionate dimensions, especially of an animal. The shape or dimensions. I don't usually think about animals in terms of their shape or dimensions. 3D, any of these spatial arrangements of a molecule that can be obtained by rotation of the atoms about a single bond. Conformational is an adjective. Next is conformity, noun from the 15th century. 1. Correspondence in form, manner, or character, and the synonym is agreement, as in behaved in conformity with her beliefs. She behaved in a way that agreed with her beliefs. Number 2, an act or instance of conforming. 3, action in accordance with some specified standard or authority, as in conformity to social custom. Yeah, I mean, I think when you go to another country and you're not as familiar or not used to their social customs, I think it is a really good idea to conform to what those customs are, because otherwise you could get in serious trouble depending on where you are. I mean, best case scenario, people are just going to look down on you. But, there are stories of people who go to other countries and then get arrested or worse. I remember when I was a kid, there was that story about the person who went to, was it, Singapore, Thailand, something, and they got arrested and caned, and that was a whole big international news story because their social customs are very different. And they're much more strict, and they want to keep everything very clean and orderly, and so you gotta follow those things. But at the same time, if you're around people and the social customs and you're used to them, maybe you don't need to conform, and you can be yourself and have fun and be wild. I can't think of the words I'm trying to think of. Just think about the situation that you're in. Okay, next is confound, or it's con or con, confound. This is a verb from the 14th century, I believe. Let's see, is it just transitive? I think it's just transitive. Okay, 1A is archaic, to bring to ruin, and the synonym is destroy. 1B, the synonyms are baffle and frustrate, as in, conferences are not for accomplishment, but to confound knavish tricks. That is a quote from J.K. Galbraith, or Galbraith. So that was an interesting quote. Conferences are not for accomplishment, but to confound knavish tricks. Baffle, frustrate. Okay, number 2 is obsolete. Synonyms are consume and waste. 3A, to put to shame, and the synonym is discomfit. D-I-S-C-O-M-F-I-T, discomfit, as in a performance that confounded the critics. It put to shame, I guess I would have thought that that the quote, the example, a performance that confounded the critics, I would think it would be more like confused the critics or shocked the critics, not put to shame. But okay, that's just me. 3B, the synonym is refute, as in sought to confound his arguments. Number 4, the synonym is damn, D-A-M-N. And, sometimes you hear people say, confound it. And then if you replace that with the word damn, I hope this is not considered adult language anymore, but, if you replace it with damn, you'd say, damn it, confound it, damn it. And this is such an old phrase, this is really, really old school swearing. I remember working in a video store and some older guy came in and he was a very nice guy. He came in all the time, but something frustrated him and he said, confound it. And I was like, wow, I didn't say this out loud, but I was like, I don't hear people say confound it ever. So that's my little story about confound. It's the only connection I have with it. Okay, number 5, to throw a person into confusion or perplexity. To throw into confusion or perplexity. And you could be throwing a person, not literally, though. See, this is where I think we should use the example, a performance that confounded the critics. Okay, 6A, to fail to discern differences between and mix up. 6B, to increase the confusion of. And a synonym for all is the word puzzle. Back to the damn example, I don't understand. Well, let's look at the etymology. I'm not entirely sure why it is a synonym for damn. Okay, what does the etymology have to say? It is from the Latin confundere, and that means to pour together or confuse. From com plus fundere, which means to pour, like pour a drink. And there's more at the word found. Okay. Yeah, didn't really help with that, but maybe when we get to the word damn, we'll learn more. Confounder is a noun. I forgot to say these. And confoundingly is an adverb. Next is confounded. This is an adjective from the 14th century. You can say confounded, yeah. Or you can emphasize the first syllable, confounded. Confounded? Confounded. Okay, number 1, the synonyms are confused and perplexed. Number 2, the synonym is damned. So it's the same thing. We just added an ed to both words. Confound, confounded, damn, damned. Confoundedly is an adverb. Next is confraternity. Yeah, it's the word fraternity with con at the beginning. Confraternity. Noun from the 15th century. 1, a society devoted especially to a religious or charitable cause. 2, fraternal union. This is from the Middle Latin confrater, which means fellow or brother, from Latin cum plus frater, which means brother, and there's more at the word brother. Next is confrere. Confrere. You can spell it C-O-N-F-R-E-R-E. You could also put an accent on the first E, which is up on the left and down on the right. You can pronounce this a few ways. First of all, you can emphasize either syllable, confrere or confrere. You could also pronounce the first syllable as con or con. So, confrere or confrere. Okay, this is a noun from the 15th century. The synonyms are colleague and comrade. Comrade. Okay, next is confront. It is a verb from circa 1568. It is just transitive. Number 1, to face, especially in challenge. And the synonym is oppose, as in confront an enemy. 2A, to cause to meet, bring face to face. By the way, whenever I have a pause like that in between two phrases, they just have a colon there. So I think it's just sort of two similar versions. Okay, as in the example, confront a reader with statistics. Oh, you better watch out when somebody's confronting you with statistics. It could be anything. To be, to meet face to face. Synonym is encounter, as in confronted the possibility of failure. Confrontal is a noun, and confronter is also a noun. This is from Middle French confrater, which means to border on or confront. From the Middle Latin confrontare, those are hard to say, confrontare, that means to bound. From com plus front or frons, which means forehead or front. The forehead is the front of my head. Actually, it's my nose. Okay, next is confrontation. Noun from 1632, the act of confronting. The state of being confronted. As a face-to-face meeting. B, the clashing of forces or ideas. Synonym is conflict. C, synonym is comparison, as in, the flashbacks bring into meaningful confrontation present and past, near and far. I'm going to read that again. The flashbacks bring into meaningful confrontation present and past, near and far. These older quotes are very poetic, and they're just not written the way I think or speak. But maybe that's just my problem. It is a quote from R.J. Clements. Confrontational is an adjective. Confrontationalist is a noun. Is that somebody who just loves to confront? And confrontationist, without the AL, that is a noun or an adjective. Next word is Confucian. Capital C-O-N-F-U-C-I-A-N. Adjective from 1837, of or relating to the Chinese philosopher Confucius or his teachings or followers. Confucian is also a noun. Confucianism is a noun. Confucianist is a noun or an adjective. I only know the very, very basics of whatever he had to say, and I think it's pretty fascinating. I think, was he the one who talked about the one and the 10,000 things, something like that? I'll put a link in the show notes, and you can go learn more about Confucius and his teachings. Okay, we are on our last word. It is confuse. C-O-N-F-U-S-E. The state that I am often in. I'm so confused, I don't know how to speak. We're going to get into some more related words in the next episode. So this one is a verb from the 14th century. It is just transitive. One is archaic. To bring to ruin. To make embarrassed. Synonym is abash. To be, to disturb in mind or purpose. And the synonym is throw off. Like throwing the dogs off the scent. You're confusing them. Okay, 3A, to make indistinct. And the synonym is blur. As in, stop confusing the issue. 3B, to mix indiscriminately. And the synonym is jumble. 3C, to fail to differentiate from an often similar or related other, as in, confuse money with comfort. How can you confuse money with comfort? I mean, I sort of see where they're going with that. Confusingly is an adverb. This is from the Middle English confused, although I wouldn't be surprised if they say that differently. Confused, maybe that's how they say it. That means frustrated or ruined. From Anglo-French, confus. From the Latin, confusus, which is from the verb confundere, and there's no extra information, which confundere probably means to frustrate or to ruin. I would love to bring a time traveler back from the 1500s into modern days and hear them talk and have them hear us talk, and they would probably be so confused as how we speak, and we would be equally as confused about how they speak. I mean, if they're using the word confused to mean to bring to ruin, that's a bit different than how we're used to using that word. And in another 100, 200, 300 years, what's language going to be like? I want to live that long. I don't know if I want to live that long, but I want to be able to experience what that will be like. Okay, so the words in this episode were conformance, confirmation, conformity, confound, confounded, confraternity, confrere, confront, confrontation, confusion, and confuse. There's a few of these that I like. I like confuse. I like confusion. I like confound. Confound it, I'm confused on which word to pick. Let's see. Maybe I will pick confusion as the word of the episode, because I think this philosopher had a lot of interesting things to think and say, and I think maybe more people need to learn about it. I don't know. Sure. And then you can go read more, go look him up and see what he had to say. Confusion is not confused. Okay, let's read the holidays for today. It is establishment of Kurdish Women's Union in Iraqi Kurdistan. In the U.S., it is Indiana Day. It is International Mountain Day, so go hug a mountain. In Argentina, it is National Tango Day. In the Philippines, specifically Pampanga Province, it is Pampanga Day. In Burkina Faso, it is Republic Day. Let's check this page. It is Anniversary Statue of Westminster in Canada. I think we're on the fun holiday page. Gingerbread Decorating Day. Holiday Food Drive for Needy Animals Day. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of animals in shelters and stuff and out on the streets, and go feed them, please. International Shareware Day. National App Day, like the apps on your phone. National Have a Bagel Day. National Noodle Ring Day. But the noodles it's showing are not rings, they're spirals. Okay, last page. Anything else we missed? Christmas Jumper Day. I think that means the sweater. It's your jumper. Some people call it a jumper. UNICEF Birthday. That's another one on today. All right, that is it. Oh, was it today? I think today is somebody's birthday who doesn't like to celebrate birthdays. So not happy birthday to you. All right, that's it. Thank you very much for listening. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. What's up with you? How are you? What's going on? Yeah, that's all the stuff that I want to know about. Okay, so the first word in this episode is confused. Confused. Adjective from the 14th century. 1A, being perplexed or disconcerted, as in, the confused students. If you are confused by this podcast or anything I say or whatever, you can go ahead and let me know. Send me an email, dictionarypod@gmail.com. Maybe some of you don't have an email address, and that's why nobody's emailing me. Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? You can follow me at dictionarypod. But maybe I need to keep up with the times and have accounts with other things so you have other ways to contact me. I don't know how to do that. Find a way to let me know. What should I do? Anyway, I hope you're not confused. 1B, disoriented with regard to one's sense of time, place, or identity, as in the patient became confused. It's hard enough to be confused with your sense of time or place, but then your identity, I don't know, I think all of us to some degree are confused about our identity or trying to figure out our identity till the day we die. Okay, number 2, synonym is indistinguishable, as in a zigzag, crisscross, confused trail. That is a quote. A zigzag, crisscross, confused trail. It is a quote from Harry Hervey. Hello, Harry Hervey. Number 3, being disordered or mixed up, as in a contradictory and often confused story. Confusedly, or just confusedly, that is an adverb. Confusedness or confusedness, that is a noun. I have so much confusedness when I do things confusedly. Okay, next is confusion. Noun from the 14th century. 1, an act or instance of confusing. As in, confusion of the issue. 2a, the quality or state of being confused. As in, try to relieve their confusion. I hope that their confusion is relieved. 2b, a confused mass or mixture, as in a confused of voices? Wait, is this right? Oh no, I mixed up the word. I got confused. A confusion of voices. So try to relieve their confusion. A confused mass or mixture is to be a confusion of voices. Oy, you guys are probably extra confused because I keep on messing things up. Okay, confusional is an adjective. Okay, next we have confutation. Confutation. It is a noun from the 15th century. 1, the act or process of confuting. And the synonym is refutation. Number 2, something as an argument or statement that confutes. Don't worry, I will explain confute in the next word. Confutative, that is an adjective. No etymology, so here we go with confute. It is a transitive verb from 1529. 1, to overwhelm in argument. Refute conclusively, as in, Elijah confuted the prophets of Baal. That is a quote from G.B. Shaw. I don't know who Elijah is in this case. I don't know who the prophets of Baal. Baal is spelled B-A-A-L, so I'm just guessing on the pronunciation. And number 2 is obsolete. The synonym is confound. Confuter is a noun. So this is from the Latin confutare, which means to check or silence. So yeah, to overwhelm an argument, refute conclusively. Okay, all right. I will not remember this, but I think it's a good one to know. Next is CONG. It is an abbreviation for Congress or Congressional. Next is conga. I guess some people say conga. C-O-N-G-A was his name-o. Noun from 1935. 1, a Cuban dance of African origin involving 3 steps followed by a kick and performed by a group usually in single file. And I never really thought about it, but I'm glad that they have the specifics of 3 steps, kick, 3 steps, kick. Number 2, a tall, barrel-shaped or tapering drum of Afro-Cuban origin that is played with the hands. We used to own a couple of conga drums. It was fun to play. What was I just... I saw, was it a movie, a TV show, something, podcast? I don't remember. Something about a conga line that you just keep on going till the end of time. I do not remember where this was, but you probably should jump into a conga line if everybody is going. Oh, I feel like it was in a TV show. I can't remember where I saw this. They just started a conga line and it just kept on going for a while. Okay. This is an American Spanish word, probably from the feminine of Congo, C-O-N-G-O. It means black person in American Spanish. Is that right? Okay. Which is from Congo with the capital C, which is the region in Africa. So I'm a little bit confused by that. I know the Congo in Africa, so then in American Spanish, did they take that word and just say, oh, well, that just means black person? Or did it, who, where, what? I'm a little confused. And then how did that become the drum? How did the feminine version of that become a dance and or a drum. Anyway, I'm going to put in an audio clip of the drum here. And that was great. Yeah. Do some conga dancing. Okay, here's conga line. That's next. 2 words, noun from 1946. And, if you know what the conga is, the conga line, the conga dance, this synonym will make sense. It is the number 2 definition for snake dance. I assume that just means that it's a whole bunch of people in a line doing the conga, and it's a long line, so it's like a snake. It snakes around through crowds, through rooms, through whatever it is. Okay, next is congé. Congé or conge. C-O-N-G-E, accent on the E, low on the left, high on the right. Or it could be kanji or kanji, C-O-N-G-E-E. This is a noun from the 14th century, 1A, a formal permission to depart. You can leave now. You have been given a congé. 1B, the synonym is dismissal. Number 2, a ceremonious bow. So when you are dismissed, you can do a ceremonious bow, and all of that is called the congé. Number 3, synonym is farewell. Number 4, an architectural molding of concave profile, and it says to see the molding illustration. This is from alternative of congé, spelled with E-E or I-E, from Latin comiatus, which means going back and forth, or leave, from comiare, which means to go back and forth, from com plus miare, which means to go, and there's more at the word permeate. Next is congeal. It is a verb from the 14th century starting with transitive. 1, to change from a fluid to a solid state by or as if by cold. You may not always want this to happen. You may have something that congeals accidentally, and but you didn't like that because it can be weird. Gravy. If gravy congeals, that's weird. Then you gotta reheat it. You don't want to eat congealed gravy, do you? I don't know. Maybe some people do. Bowl of gravy. Number 2, to make viscid or curdled, and the synonym is coagulate. 3, to make rigid, fixed, or immobile. Intransitive definition, to become congealed. Synonym is solidify. Congealment is a noun. Let's see. It is from the Latin congelare, which is com plus gelare, which means to freeze. And there's more at the word cold. Next is congee. C-O-N-G-E-E. Noun from 1930. Porridge made from rice. I have heard of it. I don't know if I've ever had it. This is from the Tamil word K-A-N-C-I. That is water from cooked rice. So you cook the rice, and then is it the leftover water? Or you add in a whole bunch of extra water, so it becomes like a watery cooked rice. And that's why it's a porridge made from rice. Next is congelation. Noun from the 15th century. The process or result of congealing. Congelation. The word gelatin is sort of in this word. Gelatinous, all that good stuff. Okay, our last word for this episode is congener. I think it's congener or congener. I think the first one is better. Congener. C-O-N-G-E-N-E-R. Noun from circa 1736. 1, a member of the same taxonomic genus as another plant or animal. 2, a person, organism, or thing resembling another in nature or action, as in the New England private schools and their congeners west of the Alleghenies. And that is a quote from Oliver Lafarge. Number 3, a chemical substance related to another. Congeneric, that is an adjective. Congenerous or congenerous, that is an adjective. This is a Latin word, and it means of the same kind. From com plus gener or genus, which means kind. There's more at the word kin. So, the words today were confused, confusion, confutation, confute, cong, conga, congaline, conge, congeal, conge, congelation, and congener. This, I don't know, is this getting more difficult? Or am I just in a bad section where there's a lot of either really good words or a lot of really bad words? Because I like conga. Ooh, yeah, I think I'm going to have to... See, I was really tempted to pick confusion because even though I don't like to be confused, I think I am often confused, and it takes a little extra effort for my brain to figure things out sometimes. But I think I may have to pick conga as the word of the episode. The drum conga. Because I like to play the hand drums. I have not done it for a long, long time, but I used to play them a fair amount, and I need to get back to that if I can ever have a place and time to do it and make noise. I can't make noise all the time. Okay, the holidays for today. In Russia, it is Constitution Day. In Turkmenistan, it is Neutrality Day. What else? Third day of Advent, International Universal Health Coverage Day. Maybe everybody can get universal health coverage all over the world. In Switzerland, it is Day of Victory. Fun holidays. Festival of Unmentionable Thoughts. So what do you do on this day? Do you have to mention your unmentionables? It's also called Taboo Day. We all have unmentionable thoughts, things that we think and don't want to talk about or say or whatever, and that's fine. Maybe today's a day that you can either talk about them or you can keep them to yourself. You can think more about them. I don't know what you're supposed to do. It is Gingerbread House Day. Now, was yesterday like decorate a gingerbread house or something like that? So now maybe today is the day that you get to eat the gingerbread house. It is International Sound Check Day. So even if you don't have to do anything with sound, you gotta check your sound. I will very likely be checking my sound on this day. Wait, what day of the week is it? Let's check this page, which shows me the days of the week. It is a Sunday, so yeah, there's a pretty good chance I will be checking the mic. It is National 12-Hour Fresh Breath Day. So brush your teeth at least twice. It is National Ambrosia Day. National Ding-a-ling Day. What is that supposed to represent? I don't know. National Poinsettia Day. World Choral, or would it be? It would be choral in this case. World Choral Day. That's choruses, people singing. Worldwide Candle Lighting Day. And one more page. Anything. Our Lady of Guadalupe Day. Jamhuri Day. See, here it says Gingerbread Decorating Day and Gingerbread House Day. Yeah, that's all. Go make a gingerbread house, I guess, and then make sure you eat it. What are you going to waste the food for if you're not going to eat it? That's what I think. All right, I'm going to finish there. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Bye-bye. What's up, word nerds? Welcome to this thing called the podcast, called the dictionary. I don't know, do I have anything else to say? I don't know. I'm working, doing things, trying to do this podcast and lots of other things. It's so hard to know because I record these so far in advance. I'm like more than a month away from this, so I don't know what life is going to be like then. I hope you're all getting ready for the new year time and things like that. Okay, the first word in this episode is congenial. 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 It is an adjective from circa 1625. 1. Having the same nature, disposition, or tastes. And the synonym is kindred, as in congenial companions. So if you have similar nature, disposition, or tastes to somebody else. You are congenial. 2A, existing or associated together harmoniously. 2B, the synonym is pleasant, especially agreeably suited to one's nature, tastes, or outlook, as in a congenial atmosphere. 2C, the synonyms are sociable and genial, as in a congenial host. Congeniality is a noun. Congenially is an adverb. This is, it's just from com plus genius. I'm not sure why genius. Maybe there's a different definition of genius than what I'm aware of. But yeah, it's good. It's good when you find that you're congenial with people. Next is congenital. It is an adjective from 1796. 1A, existing at or dating from birth, as in congenital deafness. It doesn't really say this in the etymology, but the word gene is sort of in there. Your genes, the things that make up who you are, your DNA, it's related to this congenital gene. Anyway, 1B, constituting an essential characteristic, and the synonym is inherent, as in congenital fear of snakes. 1C, acquired during development in the uterus and not through heredity, as in congenital syphilis. So heredity, interesting. Okay. Number 2, being such by nature. Being such by nature, as in a congenital liar. So yeah, it doesn't always have to do with your genes or your DNA. It just means, it's like, it's who you are, your nature, you're from birth, all that stuff. A synonym for everything is innate. What is this word? Congenitally. Congenitally is an adverb. This is from Latin congenitus, from com plus genitus, which is from the verb gignere, which means to bring forth. And there's more at the word kin, K-I-N. Next is conger eel. Conger, C-O-N-G-E-R, and then the word eel, the snake-looking thing in the water. So this is 2 words, noun from 1602, a large, strictly marine, scaleless eel of the Atlantic, broadly any of various related eels. The scientific name of this scaleless eel is Conger oceanicus, and the family name of these related eels is Congridae. I'm looking at the etymology, and there's not really anything, so I'm not sure why it's called a conger eel. But there is a picture. I mean, it looks like an eel. It's got this long, snake-like, slender body, and about, 3/4 or more of it has a fin on the top that goes from a bit behind its head all the way to the end of the tail, and it's just a long vertical fin, and then the underside has a very similar fin, but it starts maybe halfway back. And it's got a cute face. Okay, next is congeries. It is a noun from circa 1619. Synonyms are aggregation and collection. Yep, that's it. Next is congest. Verb from 1599, starting with transitive. 1, to concentrate in a small or narrow space. Number 2, to cause an excessive accumulation, especially of blood or mucus in. And it's talking about in an organ or a part. Number 3, synonym is clog, as in traffic congested the highways. It is one of my least favorite things. So those were transitive. Now we have intransitive, to become congested. Congestion is a noun. Congestive is an adjective. I'm surprised there wasn't anything real specific Actually, no, I take that back. Number 2 was to cause an excessive accumulation, especially of blood or mucus in. Yeah, if you're congested, you've got a lot of probably mucus or something, phlegm, whatever it is, in your nose, your sinuses, your throat, your lungs, whatever. And that's a terrible feeling. Okay, next is congestive heart failure. So this is definitely going to be related to that accumulation of blood in some way, I'm guessing. What does it say? It's a noun from 1930. Heart failure, in which the heart is unable to maintain an adequate circulation of blood in the bodily tissues or to pump out the venous blood returned to it by the veins. It's a problem where the heart can't do what it's supposed to do. It's failing. It's failing. I wonder if this congestive word is more related to, I don't know, it's related to, let's see, concentrate in a small and narrow space. Yeah, that makes sense. If I'm looking at congest, to concentrate in a small and narrow space, that probably means that, the arteries, the veins in the heart have been, you got high blood pressure, maybe there's plaque in there, you can't get through, so it's a much narrower space, which means that the heart has to work a lot harder to get the blood through, and maybe you should eat right and exercise so you don't have this happen. Okay, moving on to conglobate. Conglobate. Yeah, CONGLOBATE. It is a transitive verb from 1635, to form into a round compact mass. Conglobate is an adjective. Conglobation is a noun. Okay, so the etymology says it is from conglobare, which is com plus globus, and that means globe. So yeah, globe, round compact mass. Next is conglobe. It is a transitive verb from 1535, and the synonym is just conglobate. That is a fun word. Okay, our next and last word is 3 forms. It is conglomerate, or you can also say conglomerate. This first form is conglomerate. Conglomerate? Conglomerate, yeah. It is spelled CONGLOMERATE, conglomerate. Adjective from 1572, made up of parts from various sources or of various kinds. And this is from the Latin verb conglomerare. Conglomerare. That means to roll together. From com plus glomerare, which means to wind into a ball. From glomus, which means ball, and there's more at the word clam. Why? Just why? Okay, second form is conglomerate, verb from 1642. First is intransitive, to gather into a mass or coherent whole, as in numbers of dull people conglomerated round her. That is from Virginia Woolf, maybe one of her books or something. Numbers of dull people conglomerated round her. I feel like that a lot. No. Okay, transitive, it's just a synonym, which is accumulate. Conglomerative is an adjective. You can pronounce that a couple of ways. And conglomerator is a noun. And our last one, conglomerate, noun from 1818. 1. A composite mass or mixture, especially rock composed of rounded fragments varying from small pebbles to large boulders in a cement. And the example of that cement is hardened clay. Number 2. A widely diversified corporation. Conglomeratic is an adjective. So the words in this episode were congenial, congenital, conger-eel, congeries, congest, congestive heart failure, conglobate, conglobe, conglomerate, and conglomerate. Well, sometimes I have to pick the things that I'm not a big fan of because for reasons. just so you talk about them. Congestive heart failure. I feel like that's just a really important thing to think about and be aware that, if you're young, you should probably think ahead. And I don't know, whatever. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. You be you. That's fine. But if you want to avoid congestive heart failure in your future, like I said, maybe make sure you exercise and eat right, and the chances of congestive heart failure, which is often preventable, will go way, way down. I think when I changed my diet and I started exercising, my cholesterol eventually went down like 80 points, and that was all good stuff. And I lost a bunch of weight too. So sing a song about congestive heart failure, dummy. Okay. Congestive heart failure, I don't want it in my life. There you go. All right. So the holidays for today, if you are listening to this on December 13th, 2021, or any other year is fine. In the Acadians, Acadian Remembrance Day. St. Lucia, National Day. Poland, Martial Law Victims Remembrance Day. China, Nanking Massacre Memorial Day. Indonesia, Nasunantara, no, that's not how you say words. Nusantara Day. Malta, Republic Day. Brazil, Sailors Day. Mainly in Scandinavia, it is St. Lucia Day. And this page says it is, in the U.S., National Day of the Horse. It is Green Monday, whatever that means. National Cocoa Day. Oh, man, I need a hot cocoa now that the weather's getting cold. Sorry, I'm all burpy. Okay, fun holidays. So Green Monday has a picture of a little shopping cart next to a laptop. It is Ice Cream Day. Whew, but it's cold in most places. National Violin Day. Go listen to some violin music. Pick a Pathologist Pal Day. If you know any pathologists, make them your pal. Anything else? Worldwide Candle Lighting Day. U.S. National Guard Birthday. Taylor Swift's birthday. Taylor, did you know that you share a birthday with the National Guard? National Salesperson Day. And I think that is it. So that is all the things for this episode. I appreciate you listening to this, and please go tell some people about it. All right. This has been, and ever will be, Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. By this point, I don't know if you listened to the end, but I've been putting some ads in for my friends' podcast called How Did This Not Get Made? You have heard at least one of them on an old episode. I think they recorded it. I think Daniel recorded it himself. I can't remember if David was on an episode. Anyway, they're the hosts. They were inspired by the very popular podcast How Did This Get Made? Where they talk about bad movies, but in this How Did This Not Get Made? They talk about projects that were never made. They're in their third season now. I strongly suggest you go listen. They do a ton of research. It's really good information, and it's fun and funny. And you get to learn about a bunch of mostly movies, some TV shows. I think they have a video game in this new season. And they just talk about things that just never got created, and it's pretty cool. So go listen to that. Thank you very much. If you could please rate and review this podcast. If you are listening to this and even if you don't have any Apple devices, I think you can still create an Apple account and write a review on the whole Apple thing because they are super important in the world of all this stuff. And we all love them, don't we? And you can also email me, dictionarypod@gmail.com. Find me on Twitter and Instagram @dictionarypod. Call the phone number that's in the show notes if you know how to actually make phone calls anymore. You can leave me a voicemail and maybe I'll play it in an episode. That's good. Okay. I'm working on getting some guests. I'm gonna have guests soon. I was just emailing with somebody who I think is gonna be in a couple of episodes. Somebody else who I think might be a few episodes after that. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on getting some other voices in this thing because I think it's good for everybody. Let's talk about the words in this last section of page 262. The first word is conglomerateur, or now I don't know. This is a weird word. Conglomerateur or conglomerateur. It is spelled CONGLOMERATEUR. Conglomerateur. It is a noun. From 1969, a person who forms or heads a conglomerate. And the synonym is conglomerator. It is from, it's combining conglomerate or conglomerate plus the ur from entrepreneur. And that's all that is. Okay, next is conglomeration. Conglomeration, noun from 1626. 1. The act of conglomerating. The state of being conglomerated. If we all combine ourselves into one big mass, we are conglomerating. Number 2, something conglomerated. A mixed mass or collection. Next is conglutinate. Conglutinate. It is a verb from 1546. One transitive definition: to unite by or as if by a glutinous substance. It's all from gluten, whatever, it's gluten. It's wheats and things and yeah. Intransitive says to become conglutinated, as in blood platelets conglutinate in blood clotting. Blood platelets conglutinate in blood clotting. When the blood is clotting, the platelets come together and become a glue. Conglutination is a noun. So yeah, this is from the Latin conglutinatus, from the verb conglutinare, which means to glue. To glue together, which is from com plus gluten, which means glue, and there's more at the word gluten. Gluten has been such a big thing in the last 10 years or so, and, I think, we can save this for when we get to the word gluten, because I need to learn more about it, but, a lot of people, I think I talked about this when we had celiac. There are people who can't process gluten. In general, I think most people really have a hard time processing gluten in their body, so it really probably is a good idea for most people to minimize their gluten intake. But no, if you look at the etymology, it's glue. It's like, that's not something that you necessarily want to put in your body if it's going to like glue things up, or to me, it just makes it sound like, well, yeah, no wonder it's hard to digest. Okay, next is Congo red. 2 words. Congo has a capital C. Noun from 1885. An azodie, C32, H22, N6, Na2O6, S2, that is red in alkaline and blue in acid solution, and that is used especially as an indicator and as a biological stain. We have not seen those chemical letters and numbers in a really, really long time, I think. This is from Congo, the territory in Africa. So maybe this is a naturally occurring thing over there. Okay, next is, it can be pronounced Congo or Kongu. But in either case, you have to emphasize the first syllable. Congo, Kongu, spelled C-O-N-G-O-U. Noun from 1725. A black tea from China. That's all it is. It is, let's see, probably from the Qin word, and then in parentheses it says Xiamen. Is that how you pronounce it? So maybe that's a territory where the Qin language is spoken. I'm not sure. It is their word Konghu, Kong-Hu, and that means pains taken. Pains taken. Interesting. I am so now, I'm more curious about this than before. But anyway, Kongu. It's a black tea from China. Next is congratulate. Congratulate. You could say ch or j in the middle. Either way is fine. It is a verb from 1539. It is only transitive, I think. Number 1 is archaic. To express sympathetic pleasure at. And then the thing that you're doing this at could be an event. To express sympathetic pleasure. What is sympathetic pleasure? Congratulate. I don't know. I don't understand that. Okay, number 2. To express vicarious pleasure to on the occasion of success or good fortune. And the thing that this could be to would be a person. I don't know what other thing you could be congratulating, because it's just people who do an occasion of success or good fortune. As in the example, graciously congratulated the winner. And then we have more definition also, to feel pleased with. As in congratulating herself for a job well done. Yes, you can congratulate yourself. You're a person. You can be congratulated by somebody else or yourself. Okay, number 3 is obsolete. Synonyms are salute and greet. I find it so fascinating that this very specific word that we know these days has an archaic and an obsolete definition. And I'm so curious to go back hundreds of years and hear people use this in context. Let's see. Congratulator is a noun. Congratulatory is an adjective. This is from the Latin verb congratulari, which means to wish joy. Yeah, that makes sense with what we know as today. From com plus gratulari, which means to wish joy, as well from gratus, which means pleasing. And there's more at the word grace. Congratulations, everybody. Yeah, that's our next word, congratulation. It is a noun from the 15th century. 1, the act of congratulating. 2, a congratulatory expression. And this is usually used in plural. Congratulations. It is such a funny word. It's I don't know. It's for some reason I just find this word silly. I remember when I was a kid, I had a Game Boy game. Maybe it wasn't a game that I had. Maybe I just heard about it. That if you beat the game, it said congratulations, but there had been a problem in the programming and it was spelled all funny. Maybe I'll find a picture of this on the internet and I will post it today, or around today. I'm usually late on my posts. It was like congratulation. I don't know. It was like there were multiple misspellings in there. Okay. When I finish this whole podcast, I would appreciate it if you could all wish me some congratulations in whatever way that you find necessary. That would be great. I appreciate it. Okay, next is congregant. Noun from 1886, one who congregates, specifically a member of a congregation. Next, the rest of these words are going to be related. Next one is congregate. Yes, first form, verb from the 15th century. First is transitive, to collect into a group or crowd. Synonym is assemble. Avengers, congregate. Yeah, that one doesn't work so well. Intransitive says to come together into a group, crowd, or assembly. And a synonym for all is gather. Congregator. Congregator is a noun. See you later, congregator. This is from the Latin congregatus, which is from the verb congregare, which is from com plus greg or grex, which means flock. So if you're flocking together, congregating, it all works. It all works. Second form, this one is pronounced congregate, not congregate, congregate, spelled the same way. Adjective from 1900, providing or being group services or facilities designed especially for elderly persons requiring supportive services. As in, congregate housing. Next is congregation. It is a noun from the 14th century. 1a, an assembly of persons. Synonym is gathering, especially an assembly of persons met for worship and religious instruction. Yeah, that's where, when I think of the word congregation or congregate or any of those things, it's pretty much always in a religious sense. 1b, a religious community. As 1b1, an organized body of believers in a particular locality. 1b2, a Roman Catholic religious institute with only simple vows. 1b3, a group of monasteries forming an independent subdivision of an order. 2, the act or an instance of congregating or bringing together. The state of being congregated. And 3, a body of cardinals and officials forming an administrative division of the papal curia. I think I said that right. And our last word is congregational. 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 Adjective from 1639. 1, of or relating to a congregation. 2 is capitalized. Of or relating to a body of Protestant churches deriving from the English independence of the 17th century and affirming the essential importance and the autonomy of the local congregation. And 3, of or relating to church government placing final authority in the assembly of the local congregation. Congregationalism is a noun and is often capitalized, and congregationalist is a noun or an adjective, also often capitalized. So the words in this episode were conglomerature, conglomeration, conglutinate, Congo red, Congo or Congu, congratulate, congratulation, congregant, congregate, congregate, congregation, and congregational. I shall pick congratulate as the word of the episode. I don't know, it could be congratulation, but no, I like congratulate because it is the act of congratulating. Give somebody some congratulations if somebody has done something cool, or if they just woke up, or if they went to the bathroom. Congratulate them. I think that's funny. I'm gonna give you some congratulations. That's not the word of the episode. The word is congratulate. Congratulate. Here's some No, see, I don't even know how to use it in the word in a sentence. Go congratulate somebody. Yeah, I don't know where this is going. I was hoping I could rhyme congratulate with something, but I couldn't figure out how to do that in the spot. Okay, so the holidays. In Alabama, it's Alabama Day. Alabama Day, Alabama Day. In Sengakuji, Tokyo, it is 47 Ronin Remembrance Day. In Bangladesh, it is Martyred Intellectuals Day. Martyred is spelled very weird. It looks like martyred. Ooh, it's Monkey Day. I don't know where, but I like the monkeys and the apes. All right. There's not a lot. The other page says there's no holidays, which is clearly not true. It's Free Shipping Day. So if there are any websites that are not offering free shipping today, we got some problems. You should call them out on that. But hopefully you're listening to this on December 14th and go buy some stuff online so you can get some free shipping. Now's the day to do it. Yeah, it's Monkey Day, also known as Day of the Monkey, International Monkey Day, and World Monkey Day. Aren't international and world the same thing? I know how to say monkey backwards. It's monkey, iknom. I had a whole phrase that had that word in there. Monkey Day, yadiknom, monkey day. Okay. National Bouillabaisse Day. Roast Chestnuts Day. I think I need to go get some roasted chestnuts because I haven't had them since I was a kid. And I think I talked about that when I got to the word chestnut. Okay, it is, what else? Halcyon Days? Halcyon? I don't know what that is. National Energy Conservation Day. So maybe today's also a good day to turn off lights and turn off things. And, when you have appliances or things plugged in, even though they're turned off, they're still pulling power. So let's see what we can do to conserve as much energy as possible. Yeah, that's it. That's all the things, all the words and all the holidays. We have finished page 262. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast, if you are listening. And if you are, maybe just go tell one or two other people, just a couple, and then maybe they'll like it too. We are ending now. Yes, are we? Yes, I think we are, because I have so much more to record. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. This is the podcast where Spencer, me, reads the dictionary to you. Okay, top of page 263. Yep. The first word is Congress. Let's see. Congress. I'm trying to figure out, I don't know. It's Congress. Noun from 1528. 1A, the act or action of coming together and meeting. Let's have a Congress and meet together about something. 1B, the synonym is coitus. Let's see. I feel like when I got to that word, was Congress, I don't know. I remember something weird. Anyway, we're not going to go back and check. That's going to take too long. But yes, if you are performing the act of coitus, you are coming together and meeting about something. Parts are meeting. Okay, number 2, a formal meeting of delegates for discussion and usually action on some question. 3, the supreme legislative body of a nation and especially of a republic. 4, an association usually made up of delegates from constituent organizations. And 5, a single meeting or session of a group. There are lots of ways to use this word. A Congress can come together to have a Congress at a Congress, and they congress about things. I don't know. Congressional is an adjective. Congressionally is an adverb. This is from the Latin congressus, which is from congredi, which means to come together. From com plus gradi, which means to go, and there's more at the word grade. Okay, next is congressional district. 2 words, noun from 1812. A territorial division of a state from which a member of the U.S. House of Representatives is elected. So the whole state, your state, is divided up into districts, probably based on population. I'm partly saying this out loud to make sure that I'm getting it correctly, although I could be wrong. I don't know. But yes, I think that's how it works. The U.S. House of Representatives is, it's maybe not the most accurate thing, but in general, it's based on the population. So California has a lot of people, so it has the most representatives, and so they have the many, many congressional districts. But then, like Wyoming, Montana, they don't have as many people, and so they don't get as many representatives. But maybe that's more of the electoral, we're not going to get into that. But that's how that works. Okay, next is Congressional Medal. 2 words. The C and the M are capitalized. It is a noun from 1910, and the synonym is Medal of Honor. So I think this is a thing that the president in the United States gives out to people. I don't know. What do you have to do to get one of these? Okay, next is Congressman or Congressman. Noun from 1780. A member of a Congress, especially a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. Next is Congress People. Noun from 1973. Congressmen or Congresswomen. Altogether, they are Congress People. Next is Congressperson. Noun from 1972. We're just going down the list of words that you could put at the end of Congress. This is a congressman or a congresswoman, so you can either be Okay, so a congressperson is one person, but then congresspeople are multiple congresspersons. And then the last of this group of words is congresswoman, noun from 1917, a woman who is a member of a Congress, especially a woman who is a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. Congressmen and congresswomen are congresspersons who are also congresspeople. Okay, next is congruence. You could also say congruence. You can emphasize the first or the second syllables. It is a noun from the 15th century. 1. The quality or state of agreeing, coinciding, or being congruent. Number 2. A statement that two numbers or geometric figures are congruent. Next is congruency. Noun from the 15th century. The synonym is just congruence. That's the one that we just read, in case you forgot. When I re-listened to these, because I listened through them before editing, before posting, just to make sure that I didn't say, oh, let's play this piece of music, or maybe I messed up, or whatever. So I don't cut out the mess ups, but if I have to blow my nose or something, I'll cut that stuff out. So as I'm listening through, I'm not fully paying attention. I'm like, what word? What was that? And then when the episodes air, I listen to them again, and again, I'm like, I don't even know what word. So hopefully you're paying more attention to this than I am. Okay. Next is congruent. Congruent or congruent. It is an adjective from the 15th century. Number 1, synonym is congruous. We're going to get there shortly. Congruous. Number 2, superposable so as to be coincident throughout. I'm not sure what that's talking about. I would like a little more context. Number 3, having the difference divisible by a given modulus. Having the difference divisible by a given modulus. As in, this is a number example. 12 is congruent to 2, and then in parentheses it says modulo 5, since 12 minus 2 equals 2 times 5. What? Okay, so let's break this down. Let's have a little math lesson. So let's start at the end. 2 times 5 is 10, and 12 minus 2 is 10. Okay, so that's, though this whole modulo 2, I don't know what any of this, I'm sort of figuring it out. But so 12 is congruent to 2 modulo 5, because 2 times 5, I don't know. What is this used in? Who uses this? Do you use this? Can you tell me can I learn more? I don't know. Okay. Congruently is an adverb. Skipping the etymology, moving on to congruity. Noun from the 14th century. 1, the quality or state of being congruent or congruous. Number 2, a point of agreement. We are agreeing, so we have some congruence. Here's congruous. congruous. Adjective from 1599. 1a, being in agreement, harmony, or correspondence. 1b, conforming to the circumstances or requirements of a situation. Synonym is appropriate. As in, a congruous room to work in. Congruous. I think I was saying congruous before. I'm not sure. A congruous room to work in is a quote from G.B. Shaw. It is conforming to the circumstances or requirements of a situation. It is appropriate. We all need a congruous room to work in. I don't have one. I actually do not have a congruous room to work in. I either use our dining room table or our bedroom, which is where I am sitting right now. And one day, maybe I will have a new place to live in, and I will have my own space. Okay, number 2, marked or enhanced by harmonious agreement among constituent elements, as in a congruous theme. Congruously is an adverb. Congruousness is a noun, and that is that for that. Except the etymology. It is from Latin congruere, which means to come together or agree. Next is conic, C-O-N-I-C. First form, adjective from 1570, one, of or relating to a cone. An ice cream cone? That ice cream cone is so conic. Number 2, the synonym is conical. Conicity, that is a noun. The conicity of something. That would be like how cone-like it is. How much conicity does that ice cream cone have? Is this something that we can plot on a chart? I don't know. Maybe somebody has. Okay, second form of conic, noun from 1879. The synonym is conic section, 2 words which will be our last of this episode. But first we have to talk about conical. Adjective from 1570, resembling a cone, especially in shape. Well, what else would it? How else could something resemble a cone? Its shape is in the it's what how I can't come up with the words. A cone is defined by its shape. That is what it is. I don't know. Conically is an adverb. And our last for this episode is conic section, noun from 1664. 1, a plane, curve, line, pair of intersecting lines, or point that is the intersection of or bounds the intersection of a plane and a cone with 2 naps. Or napes? N-A-P-P-E-S. Naps. I'll just say naps. Okay, so we have a picture of this, number 1 definition. So it was a plane, a curve, a line, a pair of intersecting lines, or a point that is the intersection of or the bounds the intersection of a plane and a cone with 2 naps. All right, we have 5 cones, and each one has a different a shape intersecting with it. So number 1 is it says straight lines. So it's a cone. Oh, this is going to be so hard to describe. Straight lines. There's a cone. The round part is on the bottom, and then it goes up. It's like an ice cream cone upside down. But there is a shaded part that basically splits it right in the middle. So if you look at the bottom is a circle. If you draw a line along the diameter, the right in the middle, and then from, oh boy, I don't know how to explain this. It's just a gray thing that splits it in half vertically. Okay, number 2 is a circle. So you take the same cone, but instead of splitting it vertically in half, you're splitting it horizontally right in the middle. There is a circle, a shaded circle right in the middle that goes left to right, and you've cut it in half. Although not by volume, just by height. Okay, number 3 is ellipse. So it's very similar to number 2, which is a circle, but it is split now with the shape of an ellipse, so it's at an angle. It's at maybe a 30-degree or 45-degree angle that splits the same cone left to right. And, now the shape is an oval because it has been angled. And to fill the shape of the inside the cone, it has to be an ellipse. Number 4 is parabola. So this is, it looks kind of like a half of an ellipse. So it's same upside down ice cream cone. It's the same line that's being split, the diameter of the circle at the bottom, but then it curves up and to the right. You're basically cutting off the bottom right corner of the cone. You're leaving the middle bottom of the cone and the whole top and left part. You're just chopping off the bottom corner, and then the shape it leaves is an ellipse. A parabola. It's like half of an ellipse. It makes sense if you see it. Maybe I'll post a picture. And then number 5 is hyperbola. So this is 2 parabolas. I think it's just hard, but anyway, it's very similar to the parabola one, but now we have 2 cones. We have the upside down cone, and then we have another cone right side up The points are together, so it looks sort of like a one of those time things that you flip over with the sand in it. What are those called? I don't know. I can't think of it. So in this case, both of the cones are being split by this sort of half ellipse, but instead of being angled, it's more vertical. So it's still chopping off the corner, the bottom corner on one, and then the top corner on the other one. This was a bad description. All right, let's just read the words and finish this episode up. We had Congress, congressional district, congressional medal, congressman, congresspeople, congressperson, congresswoman, congruence, congruency, congruent, congruity, congruous, conic, conical, conic section. Oh, you know what? I didn't even finish number 2 for conic section. It is a curve generated by a point which always moves so that the ratio of its distance from a fixed point to its distance from a fixed line is constant. I'm definitely not going to pick conic section because that really hurt my brain. Let's see. What do we thinking? Let's pick Congress as the word of the episode. I didn't think I would pick that. Let's get together and meet about something. What should we meet about? What should we talk about? Should we talk about words? Should we talk about the dictionary? Should we talk about the podcast? Should we talk about your life? Should we talk about my life? Should we talk about the weather? Should we talk about movies? I don't know. Let's just talk about something. Let's have a Congress. Let's have a Congress. We can talk about stuff and things. We can talk about the holidays. In the U.S., it is Bill of Rights Day. But more specifically, in South Carolina, it is Second Amendment Day. Do you know the Bill of Rights? You should learn the Bill of Rights if you don't know them. It's the first 10, I think it's the first 10 amendments in the Constitution, right? Is that right? It's some important stuff. There was a great scene in that movie, Mr. and Mr. Fantastic, Mr. something like that, with Viggo Mortensen. He asks his 6-year-old kid about the Bill of Rights. It was a really, really great scene. In Alderney, it is Homecoming Day. In the Netherlands, it is Kingdom Day. In, International Esperanto Community, is that the made-up language, Esperanto? It is Zamenhof Day. Let's check this page. It is, in Bolivia, Virgen de Cotoca. Okay, let's look at some fun holidays. The Bill of Rights Day is a very fun holiday. It is Cat Herders Day. Good luck herding cats. International Tea Day. Have lots of tea. I actually have a chai next to me. I was just talking to somebody a couple days ago about how chai means tea, so a chai tea is a tea. It's, National Cupcake Day, also National Lemon Cupcake Day, National Wear Your Pearls Day. I guess I should wear my pearls today. Anything else? Nope. I think that's it. Lisa Simpson and Marge Simpson are always wearing their pearls. All right. That is it for this episode. There might be a guest tomorrow. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.